G'day folks, this is Greg Judy at Green Pastures Farm. Today we're moving the bull mob onto Kevin's farm. This is a farm that we skipped on our first couple rotations just because it was raining really hard and we had the big cattle mob. And anyway, we're going to be running 81 bulls into here. And the first paddock, some bottom ground. It's got some hill country in it. And it hasn't been grazed this year. So this is a pretty new farm that we leased. We actually did put down some lime on this when we first leased it in 2015, 16, somewhere in there. And then last year we came back and just kind of top dressed it again. But this time I put down a little phosphorus and potash. And it's unbelievable the legumes in there. We're looking at a farm that had a ton of broom sedge, eastern red cedar, and moss. There's a power line up here I'm going to show you once we get all the bulls in here. And we put some fertility on that by unrolling hay on it this last winter. And it's unbelievable what happened up there. I mean, there was nothing up there. I mean, that's one of those places where you say, you know, a rabbit's got to pack his lunch to get across it because there's nothing there to eat. But it looks like a food salad bar in there now. So we're bringing the animals about, I don't know, 3/4 of a mile, something like that, down the road here. And we sorted out the macho bulls. There's 4 we left behind. One of those are the elite from last year. We decided to go ahead and sell them. And they're at a little bit different price structure than the normal bulls that we sell. Anyway, one guy's picking one up today, and he is going to get a good one. And we're actually going to have some of the bulls, talking about it anyway, if we can work it out, those macho bulls. Before we sell the other 3, we're looking at getting some semen on them. And we have the place right down the road from us, Cattle Visions. That's what they do. So they're like 5 miles from our house. So we pulled those out, and all the young bulls, there's a bunch of young ones in here. These are not going to be for sale this year. They're still, some of them are only 7, 8 months old. But there's some good ones in there. But yeah, it's coming together well. And the boys set this farm up, and we were only going to give them half a day in here, and they said, Greg, you need to look at it. It's a lot better than what you thought. There is a ton of forage in here. So with that, I'm going to follow them in here. And these are my compatriots right here.
There's a lot of work right there, getting them down that road. They didn't want to go.
They didn't want to go?
I mean, they did. Like, it wasn't.
Yeah, they didn't just run down it, did they? They're probably full. Pretty good looking bunch of bulls, wouldn't you say, Connor?
They are. I think they've had plenty to eat recently.
Yeah. I think they're going to get plenty to eat today, too.
Yeah.
I'm going to go down and look at this bottom you all said looked so good. This is a farm we didn't have any water on when we leased it. And the landowner and I split the cost and put just what we call a one-day pond up here on the hill. And it's a nice little pond. We got fish in it now. It does need the bass in it. We got the bluegill and channel cat in it, but we'll get the bass in it this summer. It's not very big, but it's pretty darn deep. And this went through some droughts. It's never dried up. This farm also has a backup, which is a creek. And because we're only on it for just a short period, we will use the creek. Boy, 3618, you're a good looking stud. There's a lot of bulls in here that are starting to really lose their winter hair coat. And we are in the 2nd full week of May now. Actually, we're starting the 3rd full week. We've got another round of bulls to take in to the vet. We get them semen tested. Trick tested and Yoni's tested. I just want to make sure if we sell something, it's bulletproof. And there's a steer right there. We clamped him. There's actually 4 steers in here. They didn't make the second cut. We looked at it and was like, nope, that's not a bull. We're gonna take his testicles off. Look at those bulls attacking that limb. Oh, that feels good. Big old red cedar. Feels good on their back. Well, that is a good looking bull right there. Man. Whew. He is a dandy. There's a bunch of dandy bulls in here. Anyway, these are South Pole. They're a 4-way cross. They're Cinepole, Barzona, Red Angus, and Hereford. That's the breeding of them. Teddy Gentry down there in Alabama, he's the one that developed this breed. And Teddy did a good job. Man, look at that clover in here. Holy moly. This is unreal. Folks, this was nothing but, it had some big blue stem in it, and that was about it. There wasn't anything else in here. Man, what is this? That's got to be Timothy. Isaac was talking about this one this morning. He thought it was wild rye. That's got to be Timothy. I'll be darned. Usually Timothy's June. We're 2 weeks away from June. There's a lot of it down here. No, I'm wrong. It's not Timothy. It is wild rye. Yeah, there's seed head sticking up. It's not Timothy. Well, that's a nice bull. He's got just a little bit more hair to come off. He's going to make a good one. Look at the neck on him. I like short neck on my bulls. Yep, you're a good one. Look what they got to eat. I told the boys the other day, it looked like we had an air nozzle fastened to their rear end. They were just shooting them full of air. I mean, they're just absolutely packing the weight on them. But you know, if you had access to this, look at that. There's my leg. This is the 2nd week of May, and I got grass up to my thigh. I mean, look at that. It's clear up. It's clear up here. Wow. Now this, I did broadcast clover seed on this in 2000. Oh gosh, when was it? It was the first year we released it, because this guy's a deer hunter. So I'm thinking, I'll get Kevin some clover. I put clover seed in here. I didn't get anything. There was hardly any clover came up down here. Look at this now. So that clover seed was put down, this is 2021. It was put down 5 to 6 years ago, and it just sat here all that time, waiting for the right fertility and the right growing conditions. Folks, we got the right growing conditions. We brought the cattle mob through here this winter, and we unrolled some hay in here. And I'm going to show you the power line here in a minute. There was nothing up there. Boy, there's a good looking bull. Wow. 932. Whew. He's a dandy. There's just a lot of these bulls that you got to do some growing yet. They're not even a year old. In another year, some of them little bulls are going to look like 932 right there. So that's a 2020 bull there. He's just now turned a year old. He's going to be a dandy in 2 years, by the time he reaches 2. Whew. Man, are they slicking off. But look at this. I mean, it's just beautiful. Does your heart good to see cattle standing in grace. They are in grace. This is grace. I mean, I'm in grace every day out here with these animals. This is awesome. But standing in grass up to their waist. I mean, my gosh. They're not in a feedlot. They're not being fed GMO corn. They're doing the same thing that's been happening for tens of thousands of years, or however old you believe the earth is. This is what happened with ruminant animals. They grazed what came up. They defecated, urinated, they trampled, and they left. And that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna come in here and beat this up, and we're gonna graze the top thirds of these plants. They're gonna be gone. Man, oh man. You know, when animals are on this type of forage, that hair coat just can't stay on very long. It just comes flying off. So okay, so we're coming out of the bottom now. This is the power line. Folks, when I leased this, that power line was full of cedars, eastern red cedar. And I told Kevin, I said, that's an open area. I'm gonna cut them. And we did. I came in here and cut those off with a chainsaw. I left one. There's one cedar left up there. And I left that one just for cosmetic. For, you know, add a little humor to the landscape. Wow, look at that. So now I'm approaching the hillside. So this is where the moss and oh, here it is. Here's some broom sedge, just a small remnant. Look at that. There's a little piece of broom sedge right there. See it? And that's left from last year. But there's big blue stem in here. There it is. It's coming on, that green stuff right there. Or, I'm sorry, the purple leaf stuff. That's big blue stem. This is wild white clover, folks. I did not sow any white clover. I just didn't put it out. So this was in the seed bank for gosh knows how long, maybe 100 years. And it never could come up. I told you I cut some cedars. Look at that dude. That one's about 2.5 foot across. Yeah, that's not gonna rot out anytime soon. But you know, I didn't destroy the soil. I cut it off. The soil's still in place. And I've got the stump. There's another one. I've got some big cedars in here. I came up here the other day and I was flabbergasted by the amount of forage. Here's the wild hop clover. Look at that. It's coming on strong. That's the one with the little yellow blossom right there. That's called hop clover. Some people call it Japanese clover. My dad called it fool's clover. The old timers around Rucker called it fool's clover. There's a remnant of our big bale. Turkey's been up here spreading that around. I wonder if there's anything under there. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Folks, this was a lifeless desert of nothing. Well, there's some more remnants of the broom sedge. It's going to go bye-bye. Here's the pond. What in the world was that? I just stepped on. What is that? I'll be darned. Anybody got a clue what that is? I thought it was a turtle. The back of a turtle when I stepped on it. I don't know what that is. It's cut deliberately in that pattern. Huh. I'll pick it up. Anyway, this is the pond that Kevin and I built. And we're going to keep the cattle out of it this time. We don't need it. And it's this wet. I mean, it's raining. We got 3 inches overnight, and it's supposed to rain for the next 7 days. So this grass and this forage is just going to explode. So we may have to move them a little faster, give them bigger areas just to keep them from tearing up the grass. Or, you know, keep them from pugging the soil. But that's not a very big pond. It's got cattails in it. But it's a nice little pond. And we got that dug for $1,000 one day. Woo, look at that guy. Man, looks like a mirror. Yeah, you know you're on camera. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead. There's some more broom sedge. That's what grew last year. It's gonna be real curious to see what happens to that stuff. I'm guessing it's gonna have some pressure put on it. There's some more of that wild rye. Look at that. Wow, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. So you stand and you look out over the landscape here. This is Kevin's farm. We took a farm that hadn't had any livestock on it for many years. We put a wire around it, one single high tensile wire. It had barbed wire on the road frontage. And we've been grazing it correctly. And look what we've turned it into. I mean, my goodness. Just, I don't know, it does your heart good to see slick, red, fat animals eating lush legume and grasses mixed in. And I'm just the I'm the orchestra director. These are my trombone, flute, and cymbal players out here. They're doing what I tell them to do. It's a wonderful life, folks. I heartily welcome it. I wanted to give a shout out to Montrose High School FFA class. Did a farm tour with them this morning with their teacher, and it's always awesome to see young people that are interested in agriculture. And yeah, it was nice spending time this morning with the young people, showing them what we do, and just letting them know that there is a different way of running animals on land. There's a lot of negativity in the press that, oh, animals are doing this or doing that. But no, it's the way they're being managed. It's not the animals, folks. It's the way they're being managed. We can heal the landscape. We can restore our water cycles. We can take the carbon out of the air and put it back in the ground where it belongs just by sequestering carbon. Look at this. I mean, and we're growing healthy food and feeding our families and communities without burning up a bunch of fossil fuel. I think fossil fuel is going to come to the forefront here. I mean, we're already seeing it. It's going up. It's crazy how fast the price of fuels has risen since the first of the year. But, you can expect that when you pretty much axe our fossil fuel production in the United States. We're going to be dependent on somebody else, and we're seeing it. So you need to get your farms fossil fuel dependent as much as possible so you don't have to buy that $4, $5, $6 a gallon diesel to run your livestock. Learn how to do this, folks. Check it out. Our grazing school is going to be coming in September. We're going to be setting the dates. It's going to be posted on our website here shortly. And Jan and I and the interns are setting the final preparations, but it's coming. It's going to be in September. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and sign off of here. The boys are waiting on me, and you all have a great day. And hit that subscribe button on the way out.